Hi there.
Hi. Hi,
How
Leslie.
are
How
you
are you?
doing?
Good, good.
Good. I've been having trouble with my graphics here because we have so many people going in and out, but I'm going to try and put your graphic up really quickly. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, it worked! Yay!
Yay. Oh, nice.
Awesome. All right, let me get this going back here and get this out of the way. Great. So, guys, if you haven't seen the graphic already, this is Welcome Home Jersey City. This is Alan, and we are featuring a different person every 20 minutes talking about things that you guys are doing in the community right now during the pandemic, how the community can help you guys. So, I know what you guys are doing is so important. I'm so excited for you guys to tell our viewers what you guys have going on. So, without further ado, I will hand it over to you. You can go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know what you got going on over there.
Sure, sure. Well, thank you for having me on, Leslie. It's a real privilege, and so I was listening to Lynn the last 15 minutes, and there's a part of me that just wants to say what she said. Uh, and it was great to be able to identify with all the struggles and all the feelings about the new normal. And I won't judge anybody I see on the sidewalk wearing pajamas anymore, because I know how it is.
Yeah, I think we
But
all do.
yeah, it's a very peculiar time, very difficult time for a lot of people, and I'm always counting my blessings because I don't have it as bad as most. And we've been healthy, and I'm employed. So I run this organization, though, which is an all-volunteer organization that helps refugees, asylees, and asylum seekers in the Jersey City area, including Bayonne and Union City and other spots.
Right.
And we've been providing support uh, to new arrivals since 2016. Most of our support consists of like educational support, employment support, and some material support, which ranges everything from furniture to money for support with rent. We also provide food at the end of our regular enrichment sessions, our weekly program. But never have those things been more important than now. We've really
Right.
done a major pivot, like I imagine every organization that you're interviewing now has. So for the past year and a half, we've had a weekly program called Fun Club, where we bring all of our families together. It's usually about 30 families. It's about 100 people every week, including the volunteers. And we practice English. We help the kids with homework. We serve a meal. And at the end of the program, we give everybody shelf-stable food and fresh vegetables to bring home with them. We drive them home. And it really has been the hub of Welcome Home for a while. And, during that 2-hour period on a Thursday evening, we learn about what's going on, what struggles individual families are having. Well, we don't run that program anymore since the quarantine, obviously,
Right.
because the need for social distancing. So we've had to make a transition online, which has been pretty challenging, but it's been really rewarding in certain ways. The first challenge was to make sure everybody had laptops.
Right.
And then we discovered that not only did not everyone have laptops, but the children needed laptops in order to do a lot of their schooling. The schools are all beginning to transition to some form of online learning. But you can't do that unless you have a device and unless you have Wi-Fi access at your home.
Right.
So that was one of the first things that we did as an organization, was to begin to do a laptop drive. We created an Amazon wish list, and I think I see that you mentioned that on the little the screenshot there.
We We did, and then guys, there also is going to be an article going up on Everything Jersey City tomorrow that's going to link everything, and all the information will be there. So everyone, if you just
Great.
check the everythingjerseycity.com, we'll get all of that information in there for you guys. But yeah, you guys have the Amazon wish list because
Correct.
you guys have donated almost over 50 or almost 50 or over 50 laptops or
Yeah.
Chromebooks
Yep.
to your families, which is so essential for them
Yeah.
to be able to do work and learn. And I think the other thing we talked about that was really interesting is that instead of doing the what do you call it, the fun night, the
The Fun Club. Yeah.
the fun
Hmm.
club, you've created virtual ways to still have these
That's
fun
right.
things like show and tell and talent
Yeah.
shows. But the dual part of that is also teaching them how to use the technology in a fun way. So I think we should talk
Exactly.
about that because I love that.
Yeah. We have been trying for months, if not years, to help our clients become more tech savvy, and also to encourage our donors to donate to purchase laptops for our clients.
Right.
But a laptop it's not a cheap donation. I mean, the Chromebooks are not necessarily that expensive. Most of our Chromebooks are about $200 or
Right.
200, anywhere from 150 to 250, right? And that's a very generous donation. But I think it was considered a luxury item for many for a long time.
Right.
The really important stuff is paying rent and having food on the table, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
is still important and which is still a source of increasingly a source of distress for many of our clients. But now that everyone's child is at home, and Lynn was talking about like doing math problems with her daughter. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing with me. I'm relearning fourth grade math at this
Yeah.
point. You know, I think a lot of our donors are really realizing just how essential a laptop is, and they've really opened up their pocketbooks, and it's just been really gratifying to see that happen. To realize that you actually want the same opportunities for everyone, every child in the district that you have for yourself that you take for granted. I mean, we have multiple devices in our household here.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of families not only don't have any device, but they don't know how to use them, and that speaks to, Virtual Fun Club, and we're not able to do all of the things that we did when our program was rooted in a church. Um, but we're getting closer and closer to that. So it's only been a few weeks now since we launched Virtual Fun Club. We've done it on Google Hangouts. We're now doing it on Zoom. We're now starting to open up breakout rooms on Zoom. We're getting increasingly sophisticated, and so have our clients. They've learned how to use the chat function, and type out information or answers to questions. They've learned how to raise their hands virtually, and soon they're going to learn how to share a screen to show the work that they're doing in an ESL class, which we're going to introduce this week,
Right.
so that we can do English teaching.
Right, because it's really important because it's not just the kids. Like these
Right,
parents need to know how to use this technology as well,
right.
because this is kind of the future of work, right? You have to be able to at least
Yes,
log into a laptop, even to go to a website to apply for a job sometimes,
that's right.
and with kids going to school at home, and you are here. English is your language,
Yeah,
right? And you're having difficulties, you know teaching your child their
that's right.
homework. So how much more difficult is
Oh,
it for these families that English is not their first language? Now they want their
right.
children to be successful, and yet how helpless is the feeling of not being able to serve them and teach them and help them grow, which is probably the whole reason they came here,
That's right. That's
and
right.
left the country that they were in.
That's right.
So
It's exponentially more difficult. I mean, these families, they fled violence, and they wound up in a place where, on average, refugees spend 7 years in to refugee camp or an urban center before they're relocated to a place like the United States. And that's 7 years without formal schooling. That's 7 years without being able to work. And when they arrive, there's usually a social service agency that virtually does everything for them,
Right.
um, helps them get hooked up with a job. And so now a lot of these clients are going to start having to look for jobs for themselves, which is a completely different ball game. And so all of these skills, learning how to fill out an application, a job application online, um, are really critical. So it's critical not just for the children, not just for the parents to be able to help the children, but for the parents themselves to be able to move forward.
Right.
And I think it's no, it's really it's exciting to see that growth, which is not to say that I would trade it for the pandemic if we could do it all over again. But
Right.
um, you know, you asked Lynn at the end to mention something
Yep, and that was going to
special that's
definitely be
happened.
something I asked you too. So
Yeah,
give it
yeah.
to me. Yeah.
I'm a little bit ahead of the gun, but that's exactly the thing that, that's the silver lining, right? That's the beautiful thing to see some of our clients walk through that fear of I'm not going to be able to do this, so I'm not going to try. That fear of failure, that fear it's just going to be too hard. I'm not going to be able to understand. I'm not going to be able to communicate what I'm thinking, and it's like it's sometimes I've heard people say that God can be an acronym for gift of desperation, and they have that gift of desperation. They're willing to do something now that they weren't willing to do before.
Hmm.
A lot of clients are now willing to ask for help when they they weren't able to before because pride gets in the way of that. It's
Right.
humbling to say, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to feed my family this week.
Right.
I need help signing up for food stamps or SNAP. So a big part of what Lynn was talking about was about getting food donations. And so if laptops and education and an understanding about how to use online programs is a big part of what we've been doing. A bigger part of what we've been doing is just collecting donations so that we can give families money, cash, to be able to take care of whatever expenses they have, whether it's buying diapers or buying medicine, or buying food, the food that they eat rather than the food that we might expect them to eat.
Hmm.
And but by the
Right,
same
because there's so
token,
many different cuisines that
yeah,
everyone is more accustomed to having. So it's important for them to be able to, when we eat something that makes us feel really homey and very comforting,
yeah,
we want them to have that same experience if possible.
yeah, yeah. I think it's important too to for them to feel a little bit of an autonomy and control in their lives, But by the same token, I've been so impressed by how generous our community is. Again, this is something that Lynn spoke to, but there are organizations that are hearing word about a call to action that we've put out and that are approaching us because a friend of theirs told them about it. You get I there was Reverend John Brown from Old Bergen Church reached out to me a couple of days ago and said, we'll be getting a big delivery from the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, and we're happy to give you whatever we don't give away during our monthly food pantry night. And I'm just
Do
really
you want to
impressed by
tell us
that.
where all of that food is right now?
So that food is lining the hallway to our apartment, kind of like we're a reinforced bunker. So we have a storage unit,
Yeah.
um, but because of the situation right now, it's very difficult to access
Right.
because our storage is in a synagogue, actually, congregation of B'nai Jacob on West Side Avenue.
Hmm.
So and because I need that ready access. You know, most of the stuff is in our apartment, but we also have uh, we've got a food pantry running at Temple Bethel down the street on Kennedy Boulevard,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, we've got all kinds of allies throughout the city, and it's just been really great. We have organizations in Westchester who are sending us face masks, who are sending us
Wow.
checks, who are coming with their, you know, SUVs packed to the gills with food donations that we repackage for our clients. You know,
That's amazing.
there's a yesterday. A woman whose family has a restaurant in Old Bridge, New Jersey, drove up here with a dozen fresh chickens that we delivered to clients. And you know, this stuff, it's every day it's something new. Every day it's a new surprise, and you know, that's you know, that's the big reward in doing all this work. So you know, I'm grateful for that.
Well, I mean, I think I'm glad you're grateful for that. Jersey City is very grateful for you guys. We are very grateful for what you're doing in the community. And I know it's not easy when, you know, your organization is running a certain way and the pandemic hits and now we have to pivot, right? Now we have to move everything around. We have to, you have to change everything to virtual, online, and especially for you with a community that's maybe not as technologically savvy, it's really difficult. And like we talked about earlier this week, we hate to say that there's a silver lining to this, but the fact that people are understanding and donating those really valuable laptops that these kids and these people need is very important. And it's definitely eye-opening for me also.
Yeah.
Um, Absolutely. So we will be, like I said, we'll have the article up tomorrow. They'll link everything. We'll have your Amazon wish list on there. So guys, if any of you want to buy a laptop, donate or volunteer or just gather more information about Welcome Home Jersey City, all of that will be available to you. Also, Adia has put it in the comments right there, so you can see that there's a website right there as well. So we have about 1 or 2 minutes left. So, how's quarantine going for you over there? Aside from from teaching your daughter's fourth grade math.
Yeah, I'm learning all about decimals. No, it's challenging. It's exhausting, but these are first world problems.
Of
I
course.
have to say that with the, you know, with the water main break
Yeah.
yesterday, it's like added a new layer. And again, you know, I mean, there are refugees around the world. There are 25 million refugees displaced who are displaced and who are not able to practice social distancing, who don't have easy access to waters. There are refugee camps in Greece where there are like 2 spigots to serve 15,000 people.
Wow.
They're not take. I mean, I complained today that I haven't really fully woken up because I wasn't able to take a shower because the water pressure was too weak. But you know what? That's a first world problem,
Yeah.
really. Still, even
Still.
so, it's a first world problem. So, but thank you so much for giving all of us this opportunity. It was great to talk to you. Great to get to know you yesterday and to be able to chat with your followers today.
Yeah, they're so happy to meet you and talk to you and hear about what you guys have going on. So do you want to just tell them what your website is? We can just say that for them. It's welcome.
Sure, sure. So the website, our organization is Welcome Home Jersey City. The website is welcomehomerefugees.org. And like I said, we're an all volunteer 501c3 nonprofit. You can make a donation and you'll get an automated receipt for your tax purposes. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Awesome. Well,
All right.
guys, let's give a audience comment, clap, high five, whatever this thing is, um,
Right.
for Alan. And we're so thankful to have you here today. And you know, keep us informed at everythingjerseycity.com. Anything we can do for you guys. If you guys have something going on, please let us know. You have my email.
Great. Thank you so much.
All
All
right.
right.
Take
Take
care.
care. Bye.
Bye.